Alright, one more commercial break, and then it's off to bed with you. Salutations, strategists. It's Automatic with Automatic Games, bringing you yet another in a series of videos highlighting the adventures of Hefti Satchel, our tribal raider build. Where we last saw him, he was making his way to Spectacle Village, which is the largest tribal village in the Southern Commonwealth. You can see Sugar Bomb there and Brahmin Bull behind him. The warrior to his right, he's not familiar with. This village has a high enough population that there's no way Hefti knows all their names, and only a handful that he recognizes. Here's one that he recognizes. It's Kate. If nothing else, throughout these journeys he's solidified his relationship with Kate, and so now they look to a happier future together once this raiding party business is over with. Well, enough mushy stuff. They're really here to refine their strategy, coordinate with the Southern war boss. They have a plan for Garvey's forces. What they'll do is split their warrior pool up. A small raiding party will go out and raise hell, and hopefully get the attention of Garvey's men. When Garvey inevitably sallies forth with a detachment of men, a larger war party will be waiting in ambush. Of course, all of this needs to be hashed out with the Southern war boss. Here's a interesting take on a fire pit. It's great for, you can drop bodies in there if your tribe happens to be cannibalistic. Not sure if that's the case. It's Big Bear. I didn't mention in the last episode, I know he was missing in action. That's the last time I mentioned him, but if you were paying attention, he was involved with the Mirelurk Queen fight, so he caught up with us. Now let's catch up with Preston Garvey, who's currently meeting with his most trusted colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Ramsey. Ramsey's just the man to take it to Hefti Satchel's hostiles and bring this business to an end. Furthermore, Bloody Fork is just the scout to locate Hefti Satchel. That's right, Bloody Fork has made his way to the castle, and he's turned over all the information he has. Garvey uses this and orders Bloody Fork to accompany his troops. Lieutenant Colonel Ramsey will be leading a battalion to Spectacle Island. They'll be embarking on what will be a two-pronged attack. A cannonade or artillery fire will initiate the attack, followed closely by a pincer movement. In this case, Ramsey will be leading the largest force. Ramsey's the second in line here, with the side of his hat pinned up. He'll be leading the larger force. The junior officer that's in front of him, we'll call him Major Barrington. He'll be commanding a smaller force that will be attacking from the south. Bloody Fork will personally lead that smaller force with Barrington into a good position in the hills overlooking the camp. The infantry attack is supposed to be simultaneous. The intention being that they'll trap the villagers down in the valley. It's basically designed for maximum casualties. After all, Ramsey has orders to bring this entire business to an end so they can move on past the raiders and focus on the gunners. The task force will be transported there by boat, and in all will take 2 trips. Once the troops are in position, the artillery will open up. Let's fast forward, shall we? So it begins. Artillery rains down on the village, prompting the warriors to flee into the hills to the south. Anyone that remains in the village is certainly gambling with their lives. And as the smoke clears, Ramsey's attack force emerges. Ramsey calls in additional artillery fire, noticing that his southern attack force has not yet opened up. What was supposed to be a coordinated attack is not. Ramsey has no choice. Call in more artillery and order his troops to hold position. As for Barrington's force, it's true. They're not in position yet. They're just leaving the beaches. Just barely climbing into the foothills that are going to overlook the village. Unfortunately, these are the same foothills that our warriors are retreating into. Whether realizing the dire circumstances of their position, or whether he's got a guilty conscience, Bloody Fork lashes out. He's quickly put down by Barrington. Our retreating warriors are now charging. Brahmin Bull's taking it to them. Oh! And gets stabbed for it. He's down. There's Sugar Bomb versus Barrington. Hefty Satchel's entering the fight. Dispatches a soldier. Oh! Sugar Bomb has fallen, but so has Barrington. There goes Kate. Hefty wants to stay with her. Especially if she takes on 3 soldiers. Oh, and Kate's down. Hefty's enraged. There's the other war boss. Hefty's down. Closely followed by the other war boss. Sid sees this. He attacks, but it is futile. Here comes Big Bear. Oh, bullseye. Barrington's remaining 2 soldiers have taken shelter in that shed. Big Bear isn't going anywhere. He's intent on revenge.
Keep your heads down. Sorry.
And he gets it. Meanwhile, in the north, Colonel Ramsey's remaining troops have taken to the high ground. They're merely defending now, and they're getting swarmed. Perhaps the warriors are incited by the loss of both of their war chiefs, war bosses. It's a mad struggle. There's Ramsey. Oh, and he's down. Big Bear joins the fight just in time to go after a straggler. The last soldier falls, and this was indeed Ramsey's last stand. And yet it might have been ours. After all, we lost virtually all of our named characters. The exception being Big Bear, and I didn't see Bernadette fall. I guess I'll look for her body. Despite this devastating loss, it's not the end, so join me next time. If you like